I don't have my fan. I came unprepared today, so my offering to the world is this beautiful mushroom. It's the closest thing I had to me, so that's what we're doing here today. I don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of The Cup / No Ma'am. Doing a little bit of both today, but welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. I got my water on hand today. I'm here, and I'm ready to talk about some drag. Shocker. The biggest shock of all. We're talking about drag today.
I mean, duh. Hey everybody, it's me, your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. And you know what I do love? I love tea. I also love my cup mug. Ew. And
I don't have mine on hand. Sorry.
I mean, that's fine. I'll do it myself. And you can get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you look at that scan that cute little QR code to the right of the screen, it'll take you right to the link and you can get it. Favorite the shop. That would do me some real good. And then buy the cup mug, period. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period.
And it is about time. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited. We've got in the house today Will from No Ma'am. I'm so excited.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. I am one half of the No Ma'am podcast. My other half is out sick, which is very on brand for him. So, guys, just make sure you just well wishes to Jawani, but it's very on brand for Jawani.
All of the well wishes to Jawani always.
To be out sick. Like he don't like to wear jackets. He don't wear umbrellas in the rain. I don't know. So it's a mess.
I mean, it is what it is at this point.
It happens. Of course, right before Christmas. But
Of course.
No, Will, we're so happy to finally have you on. This has been literally 6 months in the making.
Oh my God, it really has. But who's counting? You know, good things come to those who wait.
So that part. And this is certainly going to be a lovely Christmas treat for all of our people across the Cup and across the No Ma'am universe, or just a Wednesday or Thursday. If you don't celebrate. But no, so excited. We are talking about the state of drag for 2025 because why not? There was a lot this year, not as much as usual, and I think that's something worth talking about when we get into it. But there was a lot of good drag this year, and who better to have than our good Judies over at No Ma'am, because y'all are doing the work just like we are doing the work out here covering almost everything.
It's a lot.
A lot of drag.
It's so much.
It's a lot of drag.
No,
beautiful gowns.
Beautiful
gowns, lovely gowns. Love all of it. We're going to get into it. Before we do, make sure that you are subscribed to us and make sure you are subscribed to No Ma'am as well. Because if you like drag content, if you like fabulous people, then you're in the right place here at the Cup, but you also need to go check out No Ma'am because y'all, I will sing your praises constantly because y'all are doing the work and it's always the most entertaining. Yes. So
thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh my God,
you guys too. So I'm like, oh, I'd be looking at the Cup. I'd be like, child, they put in the work over there. I'm like, we gotta keep up. I don't know how y'all do it.
I don't know how to do it either.
I don't know how we're doing it, but we are doing it. But yes, make sure you're subscribing to both of our channels. All the links for that will be in the description below. Go check out all of our socials. Go check out our Patreon over here. Are y'all on Patreon as well?
We were, and then we took a backseat to it because if it's not right, we didn't want to just force it, you know.
And
so we want to make sure we want to make sure that when we put it out, it's content that we really believe in, and so that's why we kind of took a backseat to it. But it's coming 2026.
Period. And look,
Well,
and
then
that
stay
is why
tuned.
we started very late in the game to do our Patreon, because it was like it wasn't right. We didn't felt forced, and we didn't want to put it out there.
Yeah.
But now we have
Yeah.
finally gotten to the place.
Yeah,
Well, we
the same thing with merch.
Yes.
We wanted to put out merch, and then we put like little feelers. Obviously, you see the No Ma'am hats, right? So all
I
of these
love
behind
it.
me here, they're like all the prototypes. So people love them. So 2026, you'll see No Ma'am merch.
Period.
Excited for it. Excited for it. But yes, go check out all the links. Links in the description. Y'all know the judge by now. But I have to say, just to start off, I'm going to say, what a great year for drag. And what a great year for televised drag, I have to say. I think, maybe the sentiment of quality over quantity is maybe how I'm feeling about this year overall, because I think if you look at like the full scope of where we're at with televised drag and even non-televised drag to a lot of extent, I've really enjoyed the drag that we've watched on TV this year. There's been some hiccups, there's been some moments, there's all of that, but I think overall I've quite enjoyed this year of drag.
Yeah, I agree. I think it started off with season 17, and so that was a really exciting moment for us. And Joanne and I, we've talked about this on the pod, but it is rare that we get a winner for, obviously, like I would say, the American version of Drag Race that both the fans want, and then it kind of met the moment. When Anya won, it met the moment that we needed. It was a lot of political turmoil. It was a whole bunch of nonsense that was happening, and I think her winning for representation was really great for that time, and then also for the fans to really appreciate the fact that Anya won, and so we was riding that high. Right. And then I think kind of like the summer, we were really excited for a new platform or a new version of All Stars. And then All Stars 10 really didn't give us what we wanted. And that's just, that the streets are talking, and, the girls are mad. Like, we didn't get what the tournament of champions or the tournament of All Stars was giving. Yeah. And I think what filled a lot of our cups, shout out to the cup, was the international seasons. Yes. I think we got a lot of our, I would say, the drama. We got a lot of excitement or just overall enthusiasm for drag from the international seasons. And that's rare because normally it's the opposite.
For me, I think this year in drag kind of was like you said, 17 started off really like, it was like, okay, cool. This was nice. This was cool. The season was fun. And for me, I'm very late to the game of drag. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think I'm 2 years into it now.
I think you're 3 now.
Maybe 3 started. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Bro.
Right.
Time,
so
time is a construct.
It is. And I just, I'm here. I got here. And for some, and I'm still not, I will be honest, sometimes watching some of these seasons of Drag Race and everything comes together, and not even just Drag Race, just drag shows in general, because since we cover everything, sometimes watching a season can feel like a chore. And it's like, oh, I got to watch it because I have to podcast about it. And that's the only reason I'm watching it. I feel like this year it was less, I have to watch it because I have to podcast about it, and more of I'm watching it because I enjoy it. I'm just simply enjoying it. And so was it some seasons? Yes, that I was like, oh, geez, please. This one's a chore for me. It's some. But for the most part, if I weigh the good and the bad, I feel like overall it was more good than bad this year of Drag Race. I didn't feel like it was a chore the entire year. It just felt like maybe one season or 2 seasons, a couple of things I was like, okay, this was not. But I feel like overall I really enjoyed the drag content that came out on television this year for me.
I think to your point exactly, Will, the big thing for me, I think this year has been International Drag Race. Because last year, I think we had so many premiere seasons that it felt like a launching pad kind of year. And that's how the last couple of years have felt with a lot of the international seasons. And I love seeing so many new franchises. I love seeing drag and DragRace expanding and getting mainstream platforms all across the world. Like, that's why I love watching Drag Race, is to learn about other cultures through the queer lens. Like, it's one of my favorite things. This year felt, there was an air, especially with the international seasons, there was an air of professionalism, and there was an air of this, like, and I think a lot of that has to do with, we got what, 2 all-star seasons of international franchises with both Slasian and with France All-Stars. And then the other seasons that we got internationally beyond that were just pretty good quality seasons. I mean, you look at both the end of Canada season 5 and Canada season 6 now airing, and those are doing phenomenally. I think Brazil 2 started really well, and then, you know, some things kind of fell off by the end of the season. But and if you look at as well, like, one of my favorite seasons of the year, and I think on paper I would have been really surprised to say this at the top of the year, España, kind of, we're in this, for me, a little bit, this kind of resurgence and maybe renaissance for Drag Race España. Which I'm really happy to see as well. I think the international seasons have really provided, like you said, that the good drama, the good drag, the good entertainment, in the way that overall the US franchise did a good job of this year, but not as good as we've seen in past years.
Yeah, I also think it is, and it's not the Queen's fault. I think it is casting. And so I think the international seasons are doing a really great job at casting for a really great show. I don't think that our American seasons are doing the greatest of jobs ensuring chemistry on the seasons, right? Like, we are getting too much of one particular type of drag, and I'll use season 17, right? Like, it was, you could see that it was a certain type of drag queen on that season. They was young. They were drag queens who grew up watching Drag Race. And so they were going to give you moments for Drag Race. Not so much, I'm going to give you good drag all the time, which, don't get me wrong, like, we saw a lot of wigs falling off. I think that was the season with the majority of every lip sync had a wig fall off. And and no shade, like, that was really fun to watch as a viewer, but at the same time, like, that was something new to all of us because we're not used to that. It was either like the wig fall off would have been like a moment for one drag queen on a previous, maybe like an old season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it would have been like, whoa, like, she's been doing drag for how long, and her wig fell off. But 17, it was like every other lip sync was like, oh, there goes the wig. Like, where's the wig falling off? And I just think the casting directors just need to do a better job at, like, making seasons well-rounded. I think that's the difference between what's happening for us over here and then internationally.
Yeah, because I look at kind of the maybe almost exact opposite of that, where I feel like a cast really gelled together. I look at something like UK season 7, which I think, you know, from the production side of things was very frustrating as a viewer. I know we sat here a lot and were very frustrated by a lot of the things that went on with UK7, but I think that cast gelled so wonderfully together, and we did have so many different perspectives on drag. We had a lot of, and that's also coming off of the high that was UK season 6 as well, where we saw, hey, cast older queens and they're going to give you good entertainment, and we got 2 phenomenal queens giving good entertainment in both Dita Garbo and Lavoie. So I think, like, I agree with that completely. It's really interesting to see the way that producers put things together, whether to get a cast to gel together or to get a cast to give you good drama, like we saw in España season 5, where the girls were fighting every damn week about something. It did not matter what was going on. Someone was fighting someone about something, and it was usually Crystal Forever. And I'm not mad.
Listen, she gave us what we wanted. Okay,
I love it so much.
Look, I will forever say not too much on Crystal Forever. I love her, like, not too much, and I still say they was wrong for how they treated Crystal Forever. I am Team Crystal, and I don't care. I don't care. Like, she had a right to be mad when y'all call her old walking through the door. Like, hello, excuse me.
I mean, but the mug never looked old. So
never looked. She was younger than some of them. I'm
so
saying.
you know,
the mug was always great. The drag was I love Venezuelan RuPaul, don't you? I love Venezuelan RuPaul.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think España needs to do better when in terms of like representation.
Yes.
Not all I would say drag queens who live in Spain are light skinned. I think we need some, darker toned drag queens on España. And I would say the same thing for, UK, right? I think UK has 7 seasons in, and we have not had a queen of color win. I also think that's an opportunity, in terms of representation. And I think in terms of waking it up, I think those 2 seasons or franchises can wake it up in a certain way. Because we're more than just being lip sync assassins, right? Like we don't have to be in the bottom to show our worth. We can actually win some challenges and stuff. And so I think there's some opportunities in that aspect, I would say.
I mean, I was beyond shocked to find out that Tia Coffee was the first person of color to actually win anything in UK. I was like, wait, what? Hold on. Didn't y'all have? And I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch a whole lot of drag, but I'm looking at the queens that I've seen come from UK. I was like, wasn't Black Pepper in there? How's she? Wasn't like I was seeing some of these queens that was in from the UK, and I'm like, they didn't win because they're amazing right now, and it's crazy. But I agree with that. I think representation, I can't even stress it enough how frustrated it could be watching some of the franchises. But I will say this about España. Let me jump on España for a second, because España for me gave me that. It felt like a chore for me towards the middle or the end of that season. It started to I started off like, okay, I'm watching, it's good, I'm enjoying this. But then it was just like, I'm frustrated, I'm bored, I'm annoyed, and I feel like for the 2 or 3 seasons that I've watched España, it always gives me that. I'm excited at the beginning, then the middle happens, and I'm like, why am I watching this? Oh, wait, I have a podcast about it. I need to talk about it. And it showed even in this podcast when I was doing it, because for a lot of España, I wasn't here because it just got hard to watch. Thankfully, it was a lot of other people who could cover it, but I was like, I wasn't invested. And when I'm not invested in the show, I don't feel like coming to talk about it on the internet, because I don't want my energy of not liking it distract anybody else of how they feel about it, because somebody else might enjoy it and be having a great time about it. And I'm just like, y'all like that? But that's how it's got to me.
I mean, I agree. I think we had the same sentiment over here. We were so excited in the beginning because they had that amazing Meet the Queens, an amazing promo video, because those photo shoots were we were like so excited. And then in the beginning, obviously, what España is going to do is they're always going to give you an amazing talent show. Right? Like this, hands down. The España queens are going to bring it in the talent perspective.
Always.
And then in the middle, I think where to Lana, to your point, is where it got to be a chore. It was a gang up on Crystal Forever. And it was like, that's all we're going to get. This is the storyline. Okay, we don't like Crystal. Crystal is bringing the drama. Crystal is the villain, quote unquote. Everyone loves Satine, right? But Crystal we don't like Crystal. And then it was like, are we going to get something else? And then the producers kept banging us in the head with like, we don't like Crystal. We don't like Crystal. We don't like Crystal. We don't like Crystal. But Satine is mother, which she is.
Well,
Love
she
Satine.
is. Yes.
Right, but it was like that's what we kind of got, right? And then it's like, oh well, Nyx, she's so emotional. We need to worry about Nyx because Crystal was ganging up on her. And then at the end, it was like, well, we knew that Margarita and Satine was going to be the top 2. Like that's what it was giving. I don't see anybody else, but at the same time, and it got back to, okay, I'm really excited. Like I love Satine, so like I'm so excited that she won. Absolutely. So that's kind of what's for us too.
And then that whole middle section is Alexandra in the bottom, Alexandra in the bottom, Alexandra in the bottom, and it's like Alexandra trying to overcome being in the bottom, and then she's in the bottom again. And it's
because she works 7 days a week.
She works 6 days a week in Barcelona. I love her dearly, but it was kind of like, once you didn't have the Crystal effect, it was like, okay, well, the storyline
what?
became Alexandra in the bottom for 4 weeks.
Mhm.
And then it was like, oop, we're suddenly at top 5. And I feel like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well.
And then we need Daphne to eliminate her because she's the only one that can.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Right.
Daphne has to get eliminated by Margarita. Because,
Right.
of course.
Because
I don't know. Yeah. I feel that. I think this cast of queens was just really, really great. And I do agree with you. We were all so excited going into the season. And it was a bit of a... I would like... And I did say Renaissance earlier. I would like to hope that that's the case. Hopefully, like, because I ultimately... Did I enjoy the season? Yeah. Because I think the queens were the biggest part of that for me. I'm intrigued to see what'll happen now that the Javis are broken up. To see,
oh my god, that's gonna be such an amazing dynamic.
That's what I'm excited. That's what I'm excited to see the most.
I kind of,
honestly, I didn't mean to cut you off, Lana, but I don't think we're gonna see that big of a difference, honestly, because if you look at them on the judges panel, they really didn't give us like PDA.
Right.
So
I kind of want. I know I shouldn't want this, but I kind of just want them to slip into like a little personal at the panel, like just every now and again, not every week, because I don't want a little biting back and forth every week, but just once or twice on the panel, one of them say something, and the other one is like, yeah, right. Just give me a little like, I still don't like you. You know what you did, and I don't like you because you know what you did. And they were like, can we keep this professional? But
that's why Derek Barry don't like you. Yeah.
Right. That little I don't like you.
Don't like you. Yeah.
I just want a little bit, but they go cut it out and they go try to make it nice and clean. But whatever.
Yeah.
I do have. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what season I really enjoyed was Slazing Royale. I really enjoyed Slazing Royale.
Literally, that was season. My question. I was about to say, so what was everybody's favorite season this year?
Great minds think alike. But I thought Slazing Royale was such an amazing season. So what I didn't like was that the international girlies got eliminated first, and then I just let the Filipino queens. Even though I love the Filipino queens, but I'm like, at least let's like mix it up a little bit. So for the next season, maybe let's not eliminate all the international girls first.
or you know what I'm saying? Maybe let's get some real competition for the Philippine queens, because
you said it. I didn't say it.
I said it. I'm gonna say it because the choices that they made for this season for the international girlies, they didn't hold a candle to the Philippine queens. And let's keep it $100. All of them should have been gone, and it should have been an all Philippines final. Like, I'm just saying, like, because
not too much on Miss Suki doll.
I love Suki, but let's be real. All of them could have been gone, and it should have been an all-Filipino final, because none of them held a candle to what those girls were bringing to this competition in Slazing Royale. And so I would like them to bring some international girlies who are on par with the Filipino queens. And they have them. They just got to bring it.
I think the difficulty is, and I appreciate the producers of Slazing for this. I do appreciate how many franchises we had represented on this season of Slazing. I think that was the intent. Unfortunately, a lot of these franchises really only had like 1 or 2 options. And so it's like at the cost of, and a lot of them went home early, because that is how a lot of Asian queens have been treated and represented on other Drag Race franchises. So I think the unfortunate thing is, I do completely agree with you, Lana. I would like to see a bit more of a back and forth kind of competition for Slazing. Where are we going to find those queens?
We got some now.
A lot of them are from the US. Like, that's really what it would be. Like,
we got some now. We got a few from Canada. We got a few from the UK who could step up. I fear it's some, but yeah.
But also I think it is the reason why I I say that Suki was really great on that season is because she acclimated to Filipino culture really quickly.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think she was able to just understand the prompts a little bit more than the other international queens. And that's why the Filipino queens like gravitated towards Suki
Mhm.
more than they did the other ones. Because I
Yeah.
think the other queens had a really hard time understanding some of the jokes, just really getting Filipino drag. I think Suki Dolls just was like, her personality just lends itself to being a mother
Mhm.
and just very understanding and just curious and saying, you know what, I'm gonna just immerse myself into all of this. And then also Suki Doll's brand is international, so she's
Right.
everywhere.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like
And look,
the pieces were put together and very much so there for
Mhm.
Suki to succeed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Suki's Canadian. Canadians are just some of the nicest people in the world. So you get those Canadian queens and you put them anywhere, they gonna be nice everywhere. They're just nice people. And so
Yeah.
Yeah.
she just
And what I love that Slajan did was the judges panel. I think that was
yes.
so smart. And I wish if we're going to do like an international all-stars, they do that. They kind of implement that in the other seasons, right? The other
Mhm.
franchises, maybe like a versus the world kind of format that they do either for, Down Under that's coming up or Mexico or just UK. Like bring some drag queens every single episode and have a rotating just panel of like drag queen judges. I think that would be great.
Agreed.
I hope we get to see that on Slasian again. Certainly, I hope we get to see something like that for Latina Royale coming up.
Yes.
I think that's gonna be another one. I'm personally really excited for this coming year, just to see what the queens are going to give, B, what queens are they going to pull from, because there is a larger network of queens to pull from. So I'm kind of like, okay, where are they going to pull from? Who's going to get the call? But I want to, because I agree with you completely. That was one of my favorite. Now, was every single judge that they had on, the best judge in the world? No. I don't know. Personally, I didn't need Jimbo there. That's just me. But I do agree. I really like having that full-on perspective as well, as someone on the panel who is also not the host or, hosts in this case. Because we are going to get that with Latino Royale with both Lolita and Tyga. But I'm intrigued to see what other perspectives we're going to get and who else is going to be from across, the franchises from around the world. Like, who else are we going to get as part of this panel? I'm really excited to see where that develops as well. I think that is definitely one of the better things we've seen from this year. Drag queens on judging panels, period, have been phenomenal across the franchises. So,
I mean, I agree with you on your sentiment to Latina Royale. I think that show is going to educate a lot of the fans the difference between a Spanish queen and a Latina. Right.
Absolutely.
And I think that is what is going to wake it up. And, Joanny and I, we talked about that on our episode when we did our cast wish list. And so we preference with letting the people know that there is not going to be someone from España unless they are Latinas, which we've had Diamante, right? We've had Crystal. So there are some España queens who have competed on that are Latinas. And so they may actually be on, Latina Royale, but we may not see just like a queen from España on there, which I know some fans are going to be like, what happened to España? And it's going to be like, well, they're not going to be on Latina Royale if it's just for Latinas.
Latinas, right. Spanish is...
So it'll be really interesting to see what World of Wonder considers the breaking point, because I see that point for sure. Personally, being just a little bit biased, I would love to see some of the España queens on there, even if they aren't specifically Latina. And even the Latina queens we've had on, I would love to see Crystal, Mariana, Diamante. I'm like, all great choices. Put the three of them on. Done. Like, that sounds phenomenal to me personally. But But there are a couple of other España choices that selfishly I would love to see make it there as well, because I think they will make good TV, and I would like to see those differences play out, and I would like to see those conversations had as well. Like the differences between drag in Spain, drag in Mexico, drag in Puerto Rico, drag in, other Central and South American countries. Like, I think that would be a really fun conversation to have on Latino Royale, in the way that I think bringing it back to Slasian did such a good job at highlighting what the experience was for all of these Asian drag queens across the world.
Yeah.
And that was another part of Slasian that I really enjoyed the most, was getting to hear like the personal backstories. And Philippines does a great job at that in general. So they were the perfect catalyst franchise for that. And then just seeing whatever the hell Siam Fusi was going to do every week, I was like, yes, I'm on board. Like, you got to have the entertainment there. So yeah, it was a lovely, fantastic season for sure.
Yes. So what was everyone's least favorite season this year?
Oh boy.
Let me think about
this is gonna hurt to say, but I think it was Brazil. And I'm not thrilled about that answer, but I think coming down to it, like I was excited to see the shift for Drag Race Brazil to the new production studio in Portugal. Like, I was excited to see, the level up of the franchise, because I love Brazil, and I think this cast is a really spectacular cast. I don't think from a production standpoint they did these girls justice in a lot of ways. And I think I would approach that question from that answer, that's how I'm gonna approach it, because I like, it has some of my favorite queens I've ever seen on Drag Race, period. But ultimately, when I think about all of the seasons this year, what was the season that I was maybe the least impressed with from a production standpoint? I think I would say Brazil, which is unfortunate because I love Brazil as a franchise. But yeah, I think I'm gonna say, yeah, unfortunately.
For me, it's probably España. To be honest, it was probably España for me, because I think that was the one that just got me to the point I'm like, I don't want to watch this week. And it's a couple of weeks that I just didn't watch, and then I was like, I'm not coming on the podcast because I didn't watch it, and I don't.
That's fair.
I still haven't gone back and watched it. Like, I haven't even watched the finale, to be honest.
Ooh.
I didn't even watch the finale. I know who won, and I love her for her win, and she deserves. She ate mother. I didn't even watch the finale because I was so over it at that point. So for me, because I enjoyed Brazil, I watched Brazil from beginning to end, enjoyed every second of it. Even when it was frustrating, I enjoyed it because I liked this cast. I thought this cast was so good, and they entertained me enough to be like, yes, I'll watch. This cast on España did not entertain me enough to make me go, yes, I'll watch still, even if I'm frustrated. It was like, I'm frustrated.
Fair.
Full stop. Like,
fair.
That was it.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
And that was it. But yeah.
What about you, Will?
Mine was All Stars 10.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Okay. And so, and I'm gonna tell you why. And Juan and I, we watched it in, like the bars, and so we got the experience of it. I think where All Stars 10 went wrong was the order of the brackets. And so it started off with bracket 1, an amazing bracket. Right? We were so invested into this new format. We were like, oh, these queens are going to bring drama. We are seeing redemption. Irene the alien is doing her thing. This is going to be great. Then we got bracket 2, and it was like, what? The Nicole Page Brooks face crack of it all, right? Like, we were like, oh, Mistress. Yeah. Villain of the year, hands down. Like, we got to give it to Mistress. But then bracket 3 came, and it was like, what happened? And it is not the queen's fault. It is just the way the production gave Ginger, put so much eggs in
Mhm.
Ginger's basket when Ginger really didn't need it.
Yeah.
And it took away for everyone else to do really well. Because all we kept focusing on was the fact that they are just lining up Ginger to move on to the semifinals, to ultimately probably be in the finals if it comes to it. But they are missing really great stories of Acid Betty, who showed amazing progress, like such an amazing redemption. Those looks were great. We had Diabetes, right? We had Denali. Like these are, we were like, what is going on? Alyssa Hunter, what it is happening right now?
The full redemption arc for Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
All of this, right? And so then it got to the point where it's like, oh, okay, no, we are going to make sure that Ginger gets put in the semifinals. I think we probably would appreciate it if bracket 3 was bracket 1. That way, it would have been like, okay, well, Ginger is going into the finals, the semifinals, great, okay. And then we would have got bracket 2, and then bracket 2, like, then we would have got bracket 1, and then 2 should have been 3. Like the bracket with the pink bracket should have been the last bracket that we saw, because that would have been so great going into the semifinals with the drama that ensued with Mistress Isabel Brooks. We like, oh, she did all of this drama to go home like second. What's happening?
Right.
I think it would have been, we would have had a different experience, and then it wouldn't have felt as if we're just pushing Ginger, because at that point we had 6 episodes of just Ginger winning.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think that's probably like, I didn't even think about it because I forgot about All Stars 10, to be honest. Like, literally forgot about it. So I will redact. I will say All Stars 10 is probably my least favorite because I literally forgot the season existed. With all the drag that has happened, I forgot. But now hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh, yep. Yeah, I hated that. Yes, I liked it. It was a lot.
What could have been a really great moment for us in terms of just a new format, right? This tournament of All-Stars. We were like, how are they going to reinvent All-Stars? What are they going to do? It could have been a really great moment to see some of our favorite queens come back. We had Phoenix. The fans get to see Phoenix from an older season really show who she is and come up to this like new style of drag, right? We got Bosco back, and everybody's like, oh my God, Bosco. Right? We got that. We got to see Irene. Like, the redemption that Irene had should be studied, right? We were like, for someone to go home first to now, like, look at Irene.
Look at Irene. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's amazing.
I go back and forth between, those were the two I was going between, was between All Stars and Brazil, just because it's simply from a production standpoint, because I love this cast of All Stars as well. Like you were saying, so many incredible queens that we've been and I've been asking to see Aja back for years. Who would have thought we were going to see Aja back on television in 2025? Like that was a treat in itself, because she's just phenomenal.
That lip sync,
it's like,
it's good. It's just good.
To Ice Spice, that should do her little dance. To yep. I'm just saying, like,
thank you to shit. Open parenthesis, fart, close the parenthesis. Like,
I mean, Irene tried. She tried to keep up, but it's Aja. It's an Ice Spice song. Ice Spice is from New York. Aja's from New York. It just wasn't adding up. Poor Irene. She didn't have a chance. She didn't have a chance. So it was
didn't have a chance until they pulled a Jennifer Hudson song out of the B side of some album somewhere. And she said, okay, I'll hit you with my pocketbook. Like, what do you mean?
What is this? Never even heard that song before, but okay.
Yeah, that was B-side for sure.
Yeah, that was B-side.
Never heard that. I don't know if I said what my favorite season this season was, but it was France All-Stars. I think France All-Stars kind of ate it up for me. Like, from beginning to end, I just enjoyed this group. I enjoyed the production of this. I enjoyed the drama that ensued. I enjoyed the twist that they put in it. I just, for some reason, felt so connected to France All-Stars this season. It took me back to when I watched season 2 of France All-Stars, and France season 2, and I was like, oh, I really, really like this franchise.
Like, was from season 2, so yeah.
And right, I
Yeah.
mean, three of them, three or four, what, three of them?
Yeah,
Four?
4, I think.
Four? But
Something like that.
and it's a reason because season 2 of France was so dang good, and a lot of them were really, really good, and it's a reason why they had the most people come back from their cast. But I really just enjoyed France All Stars, and I just enjoy France. I think France is rapidly becoming one of my favorite franchises to watch because I don't know what it is, but they just know what they're doing. Like the queens know what they're doing. They give us a show. And some is it all great? No, but it's still entertaining throughout. And this season of All Stars just was like, it felt like an All Stars. That's what it was. It felt like an All Stars. A lot of All Star seasons of shows that you watch don't necessarily feel like an All Stars. Just feel like a regular season with people who came back. This felt like an All Stars. They did everything bigger, grander, just better. And that's what I wanted in All Stars. I wanted to feel like, oh, we took the time to give these girls their proper due because they've already done it before. They coming back because we asking them to, not because they have to. The first time they came because they had to and wanted to, because they were trying to make a name for themselves. Now we're asking them. So since we're going to ask them to come back, we need to make it bigger and grander and larger than life for them. And that's what I felt like France did. Every week I watched, I was like, ooh, this was a show. This was a show. Every week felt like a show instead of, oh, this was a television program. It felt like a show. So I think for me, France All Stars kind of ate this 2025 up for me.
Yeah, I have a controversial pick.
Okay.
Because folks might be like, what? So actually my favorite season this year is Canada season 6.
I'm loving this. No, it ain't controversial at all.
Listen, the reason why I said it might be a little controversial is because it's going to be this year and it's going to run into next year.
Yeah.
So like it's just the beginning of like the season so far. But I think Canada season 6, from a casting, from just overall production standpoint, so far these challenges, just the drama that's ensued, I'm so excited.
Paula Abdul.
Like, come on.
Hello?
First episode, Brooklyn Heights gets to lip sync. Like, what? That moment when she throws like the tail and it whips around. Listen here. Van Gogh, let me tell you, Joanie may feel some type of way, but Van Gogh is the perfect villain of this season.
Yes.
For like, she's meeting the moment. I live. I'm such a fan of Dulce, that love her down. Like she can't do no wrong in my book, like at all. I want to get Hayes so bad. I love Hazel. I mean,
such a
Paolo
delight.
is such a delusional queen, but she is my type of delusion, which it is so good. And then can we talk about Sammy Landry bringing mall drag back? Like I just need to what?
Please,
so,
yes.
Season 6, Canada's Drag Race is doing it for me. And Captain Milk, that's my sis. I love her. So she already knows.
Can I say, Will? I agree with you.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna say I think it is Canada season 6 for me because it feels so fresh. Yeah. And Canada has that way of doing things. It's every season of Canada, whether it's the most overall spectacular season or not, every season they add a little bit of something fresh. It was the Beaver, and then last season we had the premiere music video, the Go Off music video, and like that cast just like, and like we always need a good Best Friends race season of Drag Race. Like I'm never mad at that. This season is really bringing the drama, the social strategy, the good villains, the people that you just want to root for, and the people you just want to know and be good Judies with. Like that's how I feel about this entire cast. Like it is just. And then to have Paula Abdul as your premiere, to have Alyssa as a guest judge, and Alyssa brought so much good energy into that workroom as well. Like this season and this cast is just so spectacular that I'm like, I think what has been the most, what have I had the most enjoyment watching this year? Canada 6. I gotta be real. That is, so I'm gonna agree with you, Will. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
I mean,
I also think it may just be a season 6 thing because
Yeah.
UK 6 was a really great season.
yes,
And
UK
RuPaul's
6,
Drag Race
US
season
6.
6 is like the season. That's always like
Yeah.
if you rank the regular seasons of Drag Race, US 6 is always up there. I mean,
It's
Bianca,
always top 3
right? Like,
somewhere.
somewhere. And I
So
just think it may just be a season 6 thing when in terms of like casting or just overall chemistry. But
yeah,
it's giving me what I want.
I mean, I
agree
think
completely.
I agree. I think the only reason I didn't say Canada is like you said because it's going in from this year into next year, and so I'm still like, not that I don't feel like it's going to fall off. Like I don't feel
Mhm.
like season 6 of Canada is going to fall off. Like it's not. It's going to go into 2026 and be just as amazing as it is in 2025 because watching this is so, like you said, it's so fresh, so fun. The drama is top tier drama, and it's not forced. It's not like, oh my god, this is the producers got their hand in it and we could see it. It's just like, no, I just don't like that girl. She came in, I don't like her. I don't like you either. And that's life. We don't like everybody. It's somebody.
I just felt like you didn't support me when we got in this group together, Lana. That's really the problem that I have with this. I just really feel like, you know,
but you could have came to me too. You could have came over here too.
Yeah, I could have, but you know, I just didn't feel like I was wanted here. You know,
but you could have came over here. But you could have came over here.
The girls are fighting.
Like the girls are
fighting. Like it's so
funny. Like the only time I have regretted missing a podcast is when I could not do Canada, and I was like, dang it, I want to talk about this because this was so fun. It's just and all these girls are so good and so amazing and so like every time we have an exit interview with them, I'm like, we walk out of the room saying the same thing. Oh my god, they are so delightful. Oh my god, they are so great. They are so good. And this is not me just talking, but like when I had that conversation with Paula.
Oh yeah.
And Logan was sick that day, so he couldn't bake it. And so it was just me and Paula. We was just talking, and I was like, are we having a moment? Like, and she's just like, girl, you are. And I was like, you are. And
it's so good.
It was so like, and everybody after that has been so amazing. I absolutely love this season of Canada's Drag Race. I don't feel like it's gonna fall off. I know it's not, and I know I'm good. Every week is going to be a heartbreaking week to see somebody go, and that's how you know a good cast is together. When every week you're like, oh, I do not want to see you go. I do not want to see you get eliminated, and that is how I feel about every single person on this cast. I know I was talking to somebody, I think I was talking to David, and he was like, every person on this cast I like. He says, because one person that if they left, I would be sad, but not like devastated. And I was trying to think, I was like, is there somebody left who's on this cast who I would be who I wouldn't be devastated about? And no, I like all of them. I like them all. I think, and I know some people got one or two. Me personally, I have two. I won't ask you who they are unless you want to tell. If you want to tell,
I mean, so far. It's Velma. Yeah. I mean, I like Velma, but she's just not my cup of tea. And also, Saltina is just not for me.
Okay, sure.
It's just not for me. But I think they're doing amazing on the show. I think they're
right.
But Giovanni probably have he'll tell you something else. He lives for Saltina. He's a Saltina stan, and I'm like, I'm sorry to that man, but I didn't know who she was going into the season.
I feel that. I feel very similarly to Giovanni because I loved Saltina before the season, and everyone else was kind of like,
I didn't know who that was. Who is Saltina?
Is
don't know them.
We love Velma. And we love Velma. We had Velma on the channel.
Friend here.
Yeah,
so
Velma's a friend here. We love her. Her edit's weird.
Edit is a little weird.
Her edit's a little weird. That's I think what it is because she is a sweetheart.
That's coming through. I don't like it. I don't like the edit because look, I'm always stand for my sisters, my girlies.
Yeah.
And don't do my girlies that way. Don't do my girls that way. Like she's the only cis woman on this group. Like, don't do her that way. Don't give her that funky edit where she comes out looking weird or people can't connect with her
Yeah.
because it looks like she's not giving. I think she's giving. I just don't think they're showing her give.
Yeah.
I
I
think
just want to
there's
see
so
more
many.
Johnny.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's so many people giving so much this season. I think
It's hard.
that is the slight issue I have with some people's edits. But
Yeah.
no, and
I
like
mean-
the way you were talking about being devastated by every elimination, that's how I feel about this season. That's how I felt about France All Stars. That's how I felt about most eliminations on Slasian. Like,
Yeah.
at running except one.
And I was like, yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah,
There was one.
I agree.
There was one or two.
There was one.
Yeah.
But no, I also want to wake up all of the non-drag race shows that we had this year as well, because
Oh
I
my
think
god, yes.
so many of them were absolutely incredible. I mean, we got the premiere of King of Drag, which was so spectacular. I
Really good.
loved season 1 of King of Drag. And I thought it was such a phenomenal show. I don't know if y'all watched it, Will, but we also got the premiere of King of Drag and of Morbid Drags out of Mexico. Mexican Dragula, essentially.
Right.
But there's so much more to it. If you just want some drag queens just absolutely like villains, just talking shit constantly, Morbid Drags was a phenomenal watch this year. I loved every single
I think Giovanni did, because Giovanni's Mexican, so like he keeps me up to like, par with all the Mexican drag. We just may not always like recap it or watch it all the time, but he knows.
Yeah.
He's like, so and so, and I'm like, no. And then he's like, oh, this person. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know.
Yeah. Because we also had La Masaraga that just ended, which was it was a journey.
It was a chore.
It was.
It was a chore. I'm
gonna amend my previous statement. My least favorite season of the year, I think, actually was La Masaraga.
La Masaraga.
Because it was a chore by the end.
It was a big chore.
So many positives. So many positives from that season.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a chore by the end of it. Yeah.
It was they focused so much on the drama that they didn't put enough into the great drag that they had. Like, I love a good fight. Everybody love a good fight every now and again, everything. But I don't need 30 minutes of people arguing around the same thing, especially arguing over something the audience hasn't seen, because like a lot of the drama happened off camera, and they're like, well, you did this and you did this, and there's no way for us as the audience to fact check what you did. There's no way for us to pick a side and who's right and who's wrong, because we didn't see it. So all we can do is just go by what you're saying, and then y'all just keep going around and around in circles. It just gets frustrating and annoying. It's like, I'm tired of you talking about, well, she's not being the same on camera as she is off camera. Who's the same on camera as they are off camera? Nobody. It's called code switching. We all do it. We don't go to work and talk the same way we talk when we're at home chilling with our friends and family. It's called showing a brand. This is their brand. They're on television to produce a show off their brand, and they can't be on camera how they are off camera all the time. And so I just found like that was one thing about Lamas, that this season was just too drama focused, that it took away from the goodness of the drag, because it was some really good drag that happened on there. So amazing. But by the time you get to the runway show, you so sick of everybody. You just want to turn it off. And it's like, I'm sick of this. And then the people
the judging,
they come out and they drag is looking mediocre, and you did all that fighting to come out looking like that? Like, what do you mean? I think I amended again. I think Lamas was probably my worst drag season of all of this 2025, because I am mad. I had just gotten mad about talking about it.
You really did.
You really did.
You were pissed me off talking about it, because it was so bad. I didn't come to the finale episode on this podcast for this either, because I checked out. I literally
Yeah.
checked out of Lamaze mid-season. It was bad. Yeah, that
Not you
story.
pulling a Raven to Tatiana. Her drag is
part.
shit. Her look was shit.
It was
She's
bad.
She shit.
That
But
part.
the drag be
No.
good. That's what was the frustrating part about it, because the drag be good. It's good drag
so
on Lamaze.
good.
If you just give me, if I could just only watch the runways, I would do it. Like, don't make
Right.
me watch the rest of the show. Just let me watch the runway, and that's
Right.
it. And I'll be like, oh, it was a phenomenal season.
Right. You can exclude
That's
the
how
lip syncs and the judging too.
Right.
'cause-
Just let me
Yeah.
watch the runway, nothing else. Everything else.
That's kind of how I felt with Titans too, honestly.
Oh,
Let's wake that up too, because yeah, I
Like-
feel very, very similarly. Yeah, because Lana doesn't
Yeah.
watch Dragula anymore.
No, I felt that
Yeah.
way with Titans too. And honestly, I was so excited when I saw the cast for Titans 2. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an amazing season.
Spectacular.
I'm like, some of these monsters, I'm like, I am living. I'm such a stan of Eva Destruction, right?
Yes.
Obviously, JK,
Oh my God.
Zavaleta, they're from
Yes.
the like Brooklyn. We got to rep those, like, hands down. But Dahlia Black was my favorite monster going into Titans. Like, I don't know, like,
yeah.
I lived for Dahlia on their original season.
Mhm.
And then to get this Dahlia on Titans, I was just like really disappointed.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of that as well. I might amend my statement again and say, no, I did enjoy Titans for what it was. I enjoyed a lot of Titans for what it was, because the drama was good. The drama was good drama. I think that's my separating, because like I still think about that Zavaleta and JK fight where Zavaleta storms out and then goes and hugs a tree outside, and Cynthia Doll is trying to
I hope somebody called her mother. I hope somebody called her mother. I really do. To this day, I hope.
Zava, can you let us know, Zava, because Zava is a friend kind of the pod. Zava, if you happen to be watching this, did somebody call your mom? I would like to know. I would like to be aware of that.
Cynthia, maybe somebody called your mother. Like, I need to know.
I hope. And I agree with you on that, because this season of Titans, I was so excited going in. And it felt like if you look at everyone's storyline comparatively, you had some of the biggest, the highest highs, and some of the just like, for lack of a better term, flatline storylines. Like, I was so excited. Disasterina is my favorite Dragula contestant of all time. I love her so much, and I was so excited to get to see a different side of Disasterina, and then we didn't really see it. And then we really didn't get any of Disasterina at all on this season, and I was just like, oh damn. Like, we had that with Disasterina. I feel a lot of that with Priscilla as well, someone that I did a 180 on this season, because I didn't particularly care for her on season 3. I really found a lot that I enjoy about Priscilla after this season, but a lot of it comes from just those small moments we were getting from her. But then you look and we get like the fully like the final form of Eva, who I'm so happy Eva won, but it felt scripted from episode 1. Like that's how I felt going in. I was like, as soon as the first episode ended, I said, well, Eva's winning. Cool. I'm excited to watch the rest of the season, I guess. And it's like, and as a JK super fan, as a J. Jolie fan as well, like getting to see redemptions for both of them as well in very different ways, was quite delightful to see. And I mean, you got to wake it up for Miss Cynthia Doll.
Hilarious. Comic relief of the season. Where I was disappointed was in, like, I was upset at Dahlia because favorite monster going into it. But where I was really disappointed throughout the whole entire season was Sigourney Beaver. Like, I didn't think that Sigourney was going to go out the way she did, and it was bad. It was really bad to watch, and it was just cringe for me for multiple moments. And a part of me was like, I'm not sure if it was production editing the way this was, like how she looked, or if this is really what went down. Because I'm hoping in this production for a storyline, and I hope she didn't actually act that way.
I have heard some things. That's all I'll say on the matter. That's all I'll say currently on the matter. But But no, and then and I liked the different things that we got on this season of Dragula, which was nice. Like I liked seeing them on location again twice, which was quite delightful. The twist on the finale was quite delightful as well, but
yeah.
it's
what I really want is I want Dragula or the alternative drag shows to get as much popularity as the just normal drag shows, I would say. And the reason why I say that is because, I shouldn't say normal, I should say standard, because some people may take that out of like context. But like the standard drag shows, and the reason why I think drag is a big tent. And we talk about representation, and I think there is, for the fandom as a whole, that we have some opportunities with the reception on just the overall, just the gravitating towards these shows versus, or just the publicity, right? Like us talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
The Cup recapped Dragula. We recapped Dragula on No Ma'am. And that's rare, right? It's normally just, when we talk about drag, we always talk about Drag Race and RuPaul's Drag Race and that. But we don't talk about the alternative drag scene. That's also really important too. So
yeah,
I think we need more of that.
I agree completely. That's why we were so happy to cover Morbid Drags as well, because it is an alternative drag show and an international alternative drag show that did such fun things. They've already announced their cast for season 2. I can't wait to watch season 2. I think it's going to be a phenomenal production. But beyond all of that, the people behind Morbid Drags were so good to us throughout the whole season as well. And they were so appreciative for anybody covering the show in general. And that's one of those things that makes me really happy. Because if we can do anything here to uplift any platforms, period, that's in a lot of ways the point of what we're doing. Like, we're fans of drag first and foremost. And that's one of the things I love about No Ma'am, is that you can tell that you are all just fans of drag. And it is kind of, in a way, part of, I guess, our responsibility to, we love talking about Drag Race. We love talking about, US regular Drag Race. But there is an element of also making sure that all of these other smaller, alternative, even international drag scenes are represented in mainstream American media, even if we're not, the biggest platforms. I have always felt like it is the most important thing to highlight anyone that needs a platform, and it's really important to see all of these shows developing. I mean, we've got 2 seasons of Dragula Titans now and 6 seasons of Dragula in general. Morbid Drags is just starting as a show. I'm seeing so many other alternative drag shows popping up all over everywhere, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, it's just one of those really cool things to watch.
Not to mention that we had a really good rapport and a good platform with the people at King of Drags. They were very excited to have someone covering their show, because it was their first season. We don't get a lot of Drag King televised anything. So to have King of Drags be out there, and it's like, yes, it's somebody who is interested in watching and talking about it and putting it out there in the airwaves, and however many people see it, it can bring eyes to that show. And so I love that, because even the Drag Kings were so lovely. They were great. And I loved being able to go into that world, because we don't usually go into that world a lot. And then now that just brings out more, and we're seeing more Drag Kings popping up everywhere. And I'm like, that's what we need to see. And that's what we love to see. And so I love that. So I do enjoy opening up, just options for all the alternative drag shows, and as well as Drag Race. And I think the state of drag this year, I would say, is a good year for drag. I think this was a good year for drag. And if this is the momentum that we're on, 2026 could, I hope, only goes up from here. And it just be an amazing, like, I don't want any chores. I want everything to be entertaining and that I want to watch.
Yeah, what I would say to that, to your point, is I think in terms of just like full transparency, I think us as like podcasters, I think there is an opportunity for us to be more mainstream. And I say that as especially because representation, right? Giovanni and I, we're two queer people of color talking about Drag Race that historically we're not the prototype. We're not drag queens, right? We're not twinks. Unfortunately, we're not white. Right. So like, you know, we're not desirable in terms of like the Drag Race like fandom and that fan base. And so I think for us, that was one of the reasons why we wanted to do like a portion of our podcast to really talk about it, because there needs to be people who look like us talking about things that we really enjoy. I think as in terms of like the cup, the diversity on the cup like panel, I think is really important because there's someone for everyone, right? That you can relate to on, you know, the panel of the podcasters that you guys have on your platform. I just think that the fans need to be more receptive to that piece. We are doing, I would say we're doing the Lord's work, but we are out here.
We are.
Listen, we are out here making sure that we are exposing drag, just queer culture in a positive light, especially in this political climate. I think it's very important that they get to see that we are doing what we need to, because there's a lot of people, the opposition is coming for us. And I think there is an opportunity for us to really just be in the forefront and be on the front lines of doing it. So I think 2026 is going to be a good year for us.
Absolutely. And I think, just really quick to jump on that point, I like what you just said about how the representation needs to be from all platforms and how we present what we love. Because yes, there is diversity here on the cup, because everybody is not the same. We do have, I mean, I might be the black representation on this podcast, but that's fine. I'll take that mantle for now. It'll be more soon, but I'll take that mantle for now. But I'm also one of the few like straight people on this podcast. And so I me and Logan joke all the time. I'm like, I'm an ally, period. And I will continue.
Talk, Valentina.
Ally.
Period.
But you know, I will continue to do that. And I feel like every space, every person represented is something important. And so I need to see more people who are not queer to come into queer spaces, but do it respectfully. Come into queer spaces respectfully. And I know this. And I'm like, look here, as a woman of color, I know I want people to come into my space respectfully. So I will always go into other people's spaces respectfully and give them, like, I can say what I want to say. I can say how I feel about a look without dogging the queen. I can talk about some things and say some things I don't particularly like without beating them down for who they are, because that's not the point of a show like this. When we come to do recaps about drag shows and things like that, it's the way to criticize without being critical. So that is what the whole mantle that I put myself on, as when we talk about on this podcast. And honestly, what we both, me and Logan, have said what we wanted for this podcast in general is we can come in here and we can talk our stuff. We can say what we want to say. We can be sassy. We can be, you know, but I don't want to be mean. I will never be mean, and I will never be rude, because this is not my house. I'm coming into their house. So I will come into their house. I'm gonna take off my shoes, sit up perfectly by the door. I'm gonna sit on their couch politely. I'm not gonna touch nothing unless they ask me to.
Hello. Yeah, and we talked about this on the first episode of Canada's Drag Race season 6, where there was some nuances that Joanna and I picked up on in terms of like slight microaggressions. It wasn't on purpose, but there was some microaggressions there. And that is something that, from our perspective, the reason why we picked up on it is because we've been victim to that. And so we can see and we can talk about it. But I think that our stories is very important, right? Being in these spaces, and sometimes it's hard being the first, because you are like, you know, you're representing, right? You're like, you know, you're educating, and then sometimes you're like being somebody's therapist, and you got to fend off like the haters and all that stuff. So it's a lot that goes into it. But and then we also have to work twice as hard to get a little bit of recognition, you know, just a little bit. But we're putting out high quality recaps. We're making sure that we're doing this intentionally without trying to put somebody down. We're not going for these viral moments moments that we could be like, oh no, because if that was the case, then we'd all be really popular, right? But it's like, no, we're making sure that we're putting it out with intention. And I think that is something that why we respect the cup so much is like the pride is there. We're like, you guys are doing an amazing job at showcasing drag in this highest form. And so I can always appreciate someone who is doing the greatest.
Work.
Yes.
The Lord's work in a lot of ways.
And, you know,
and
I'm like, you guys are doing it. So I really appreciate it.
You all too. You all are doing the Lord's work.
You all are doing the damn thing as well. I don't listen to that many drag podcasts at all anymore because hell, we do too many of them. And one of the only ones I keep up with on a regular basis is No Man because it's that shared energy. And I wish I could say there were, you know, that every Drag Race and drag podcast was like that. And I can't say that. And that was one of the big tenets for me personally getting into podcasting and podcasting about Drag Race is I wanted a platform where if anyone wants to talk about it, they can. But at the same time, like you said, Lana, we're not in here trying to be mean. We're not in here trying to be, you know, disrespectful to people because why? Because for what reason? Like there's no reason to do this when it's ultimately, I think was it Van that called it a cross-dressing TV show or something like that? Like there's I think it was Van Gogh that said it somewhere. But ultimately, like that is what we're talking about. And so it's like we want it to be seriously unserious and respectfully critical. And I love criticizing without being critical, Lana. Like I think that really that point really rings home as well. It's
just a mantra that I literally have been saying that every time I go on a podcast since I think after, because we've had the moments here on this podcast where we go a little too far. Sometimes we just be talking and when you like say something and somebody responds to it, you be like, oh, okay. First of all, I forgot people were watching. I forgot people were watching me. My bad, homie. I shouldn't have said that. And I have to go into this mindset. I can be critical of people because there's nothing wrong with being criticizing people without being critical about, you know, being critical of them. Because I don't go on stage and do what they do. I'm not a drag performer, and that's not my zhuzh. Now, am I a performer? I do what I do, but I don't do that. I don't do that. So how am I gonna go tell you how to do your job? I don't want you to come and tell me how to do my job. So I'm not going to do that to you. So it's the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. You know, do unto others as they will do unto you. So I just feel like that's how we should go into drag as podcasters. And when we're talking about these things, we just have to realize they are people.
Yeah, and we never talk about their drag because just like the Boulay brothers say, right, all drag is valid, and that is totally true. Yes. So it's never about their drag because at the end of the day, we're not drag queens. So it is based on what the package you are bringing to the show. Are you delivering on the challenge? Did we like your runway? Did the runway speak to the runway category?
Right.
Is it well made? Is it well put together? Is it on brand? Are you bringing a brand? Are you bringing anything to the show? And so I think that's what's different between like our podcasters versus the other ones is we're not talking about the drag queen. We're talking about the whole premise of the show. Like that's the difference.
100%. And there are some other great podcasts that do what we do as well, and it's phenomenal to see. I wish all of them were like that, and unfortunately, not the case.
I know, right?
And you could tell when what you're doing is doing it right because you feel it, and the people see it, and people will tell you. And so for that, also, 2025 has been such a good time with us, for me, talking and interacting with our fans. Some of them are not, some people have not been the nicest all the time, but you expect that when you put out things like this. You expect that. Like I have to have a thick skin. They might not like me, and that's okay. Yeah. But you know who do respect it is the queens, and they have shown us so much love this year because of we are not being mean. And so many has told us, like, I appreciate y'all for not doing what other podcasts are doing and ripping us down at every cost when it's just a show. This is a TV show, and you're seeing an edited version of a well-produced TV show. We're not seeing who they are in their real life, but we're talking like we know them, and so it's just
Yeah.
I as many people could comment and say they hate the cup and they hate everybody on the panel and they hate everybody's talking and you talk too much, you don't say enough, you get on my nerves, your views are wrong. I can take all of that. Give it to me every single day. But what I value the most is when I see someone who on a show that we're talking about say, thank you so much for saying what you're saying, because that's exactly what I was trying to perceive. That's what I was trying to show. Or you guys are so sweet. You guys are nice. You guys are cool. You guys are, that trumps everything for me. Like you could call me, you could say the purple hair girl talk too much. Okay. And
that is a comment we have received.
That is a real comment. Like the purple hair girl talks too much. And I was like, I do, but I'm the host, so that's my job.
Hello.
Hello.
I would have been like, I would tell him, I'm like, hi, that's a lot of emotions for safe. Like you're not even like, you're not even on the bench.
Will, I will be stealing that from this.
Listen, that's a lot of emotions for safe. A
lot of emotions for safe.
Like you can stay over there.
Yeah.
You want to do what I'm doing? Because
you're talking a lot for somebody outside the club.
Hello.
You can't even
get in. You can't even get in.
You can't even get in.
No. Yeah. No, but I mean, I agree. I think 2025 for us has been an amazing year as well. Like it's so surprising when the amount of like views that we get sometimes on some episodes, or just even on Instagram just in general, where people just liking our clips or like putting in stories and stuff. And then we may do a recap and we may tag like one of the queens on the show and they'll put it in a story or they'll send us a DM like, oh my God, you guys are so funny. And it's always, it sometimes we should be used to it by now, but we're still not. It's like, oh my God, you know who just sent us a message?
You are never, and that is the thing. Like we're in year 5 of doing this. I still, every time I'm like, you know who we got a message? Like it's one of those like and it's so surreal and it's an interesting place, and I see it personally as a place of privilege where it's like, hey, we get to watch these shows and enjoy them and then also interact with these people. Like that is it has been one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do. I still remember getting recognized at DragCon. Like that for me is a moment. The last DragCon that happened 2024, 2 of us were there and we both got recognized from this podcast. And that was one of those moments for me that I will never, ever forget. It was just like one of those, wait, what do you, what? You don't ever get over those. You don't ever get over those. It's
that's like Jawani gets recognized by his name. Like if he signs into maybe like TikTok or one of like, if one of the queens do like a TikTok live or something, like just like, oh, get ready with me or whatever. Like he'll pop into like their lives and they'll be like, oh, that's Jawani for No Ma'am. Oh, No Ma'am is in the building. And so for him, it's like, he's like, oh my gosh, like they know who I am outside of like the No Ma'am like name. And so I think it's always funny. But for us, it's a little different because we are in New York City and then we do go to some of the viewing parties. And so a lot of times the fans have like this visual response to like the queen that's on TV. But yet we've talked to them. We've maybe even had them on the pod at one point or like you've engaged with them. And so they follow us. We have really great banter. And then so it's a little hard because it's like, wait, we actually know the person that you are like discrediting. So for us, it's always a little awkward because it's like, hi, no, that's not who they are.
Like, hello, no.
Yeah,
it's like, sure, yeah. But yeah,
I feel that. I think that's getting recognized is one of the coolest parts of this whole thing, and I never thought it would happen because, like you say, I don't never think anybody's ever watching us. I don't ever think, even though I look at the thing and they say the views have happened, I'm like, nobody's watching us, nobody cares. But then I go somewhere like a reality show thing weekend, or I go somewhere and somebody say, oh, I recognize you on that podcast, The Cup. And I'm like, what do you mean you know me from The Cup? How do you even know what The Cup is? That's crazy. And I'm like, no, we watched you and we saw you and you did such a good job. I'm like, I don't understand. This has been, I will say this, 2025 has been the most amazing year for me. This year has been such a great year for podcasting for me. As frustrating as some of it is, because podcasting is very frustrating. But as far as doing this and talking to people and interacting with people, it's been so fun. It's been so fun. And the drag race scene has been a big, huge part of that.
Mm-hmm.
A big, huge part of that. Shout out to Canada Drag Race. I'm just gonna say it.
That
Canada
part,
Drag Race,
please do, yeah.
5 and 6, season 5 and 6, y'all, and the UK.
Yeah.
This past season, UK, y'all have truly made this amazing for me, and Brazil too. By yeah,
Oh, Brazil.
Give it to Brazil
Brazil.
too.
Yes.
But yeah,
Well, now what I want to know from both of y'all, Will, Lana, are you going into 2026 doing your big ones? Are you going to do your big one in 2020?
I'm gonna put my season 18 queen hat on. Of course. Like, who comes to the show to not want to do their big one? Like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna do my big one. I mean, like, I've been doing this for a long time. It's just what I do, which
Period.
they just kind of gave away that they probably would not be lasting that long. But okay, so sure.
Like that.
But yes, and all jokes aside, 2026 is gonna be a really great year for us. So I'm excited.
I'm really excited.
Am I gonna be doing my big one in 2026? Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Like, absolutely, we'll be doing my. But see, you don't have to do your big one if you already do your big one every day. So it's like that's just a part of life. Doing my big one, I do that every day. I do a big one every moment I'm on. So yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Are you doing your big one in 2026?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, well, think about it.
No, of course I am. No, of course. I think this is going to be a really good year for drag in general. I think, and we just got the announcement today that UK versus the World is coming next month. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited for that. I can't wait because I know who's on, and that makes me really happy. But I think it's going to be a really good year for drag. I think with what we've got coming down the pipeline, allegedly, and what we know we're going to get from this year, I think it's going to be a phenomenal year, and I can't wait. And we'll be here talking about all of it.
Because that's what we do. That's what we do.
That is what we do. This was fun. This was delightful. Will, I'm so happy we were finally able to have you on.
Yes.
There will be more. Trust. Yes. We will make it happen more often, but no, we're so happy.
We'll get your other half here too. We definitely will get the other half here as well.
Yes. And then you guys need to come over to No Ma'am.
Period.
Oh, absolutely.
You say the word, we're there.
Period. Right. Period. Well, go ahead, plug everything you can and want to plug.
Well, obviously I'm Will. I'm one half of No Ma'am, the podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at No Ma'am, the podcast. It's just, branding. We're also on YouTube at No Ma'am, the podcast, because why else, right?
Well,
yeah. Duh. You can follow me on my Instagram is Will on the mic, because I'm Will and I'm on the mic. So, you gotta make branding really simple.
Yeah.
And then if you want to follow my solo pod that I'm super excited about, it's a passion project of mine. It's Black by Design, and that's Black BLK. And so it really is, it's all about telling our stories from obviously the Black perspective and why these stories matter. So all of it, make sure you go follow us. And Jawani is at jawani.n28. We got to workshop that name, but it'll be all right.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. We'll put that out there. But yes, he's the mug of No Ma'am. So if you want to follow the mug of No Ma'am, if that's it. I would say I'm more like the trade, even though I'm not straight, but I'm like the trade of the group. So I'm the straight man. Somebody got to do it. Somebody has to be it. But yeah, that's us.
I was going to say Lana's the mug, and I guess I'm the non-binary bear trade. I'll take that. We'll take it. But no, this has been an absolute delight. There will be more in the future. I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is gonna be a good year. Yeah. With all of that,
I just want to know from the fans or the viewers, our family, the Cup family. Y'all know, because I do not call them fans. I don't like that word. You are fam. So to the Cup fam out there, y'all know I want to know in the comments, what was your thoughts about drag in 2025. Like, I need y'all to tell us what you felt about this year's worth of drag, what you watched. I mean, you might not have been like us and had to and watched everything, but whatever you
I
watched, how do
had
you
to.
feel? Not, yeah, I had to. I said had to because I was forced. No, I was.
So we're still perpetuating that narrative, Lana. Wow.
I
Okay.
mean, is it false?
No.
Thank you. I'm about to say it was not false, but yes. But let us know what you thought about the state of drag in 2025. Let us know how you
Yes.
feel about it. Did you like it? Did you? Yeah, let us know.
Did
And
you
then,
enjoy? Let us
did you
know all your
enjoy?
thoughts down in the comments below. Make
Period.
sure to check out everything No Ma'am is doing because they're doing all the same stuff we are. And it's so if you like drag and you like Drag Race, you're gonna love No Ma'am.
Absolutely.
Y'all are constantly entertaining, and whenever I need a good laugh, I put on a No Ma'am episode. That's what it is. That's what it is. So with all of that being said, make sure you are subscribing all across the board. You're liking videos, you're sharing, you're following, do all of the things. All of our links for everything will be down in the description below, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the rest of our end of year videos here on The Cup, because this is the first of our end of year series where we're doing videos every day between Christmas and New Year's, because that's how things worked out. And make sure to check out No Ma'am as well for their end of year content as well. Moving into next week for season 18. Oh boy, what privilege. I love not having a week off. Anyway, make sure you're also getting your cup merch at lana2creations.com. And with all of that being said, we're going to get out of here because we got other things to do and it's almost Christmas. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy holidays to everyone. And cheers, y'all. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.